In these problems, we are solving inequalities, so we've got a greater than or less than signs instead of equal signs, for variables. So we've got some letters in here, a v up here, a u down here. We want to get those variables alone on one side of the inequality sign. And then we've got decimals to deal with too. In these problems, we're applying the additive property, and what that means is just a fancy way of saying you're allowed to add the same amount to both sides of the inequality sign. As long as you're adding the same amount, it's cool. Or subtracting, because really adding and subtracting are pretty much the same thing. Subtracting is just adding a negative number. So let's see how this works on this first one. I've got negative 2.8 is greater than or equal to v minus 5.1. I want the v alone, so I want to get rid of this minus 5.1. I can do that by doing the opposite of minus 5.1, which is plus 5.1. If I do that to this side, I have to do it to this side. So we'll add 5.1 on this side. Now, if you've got a calculator handy, you can do the math over here. Type in a negative 2.8 plus 5.1. I'm going to do this by hand, and I think the easiest way for me to do this is to do it in the opposite order. I'll take a 5.1 and I'll subtract 2.8 from it. Let's see, 1 minus, I'll have to borrow there, so this is going to become a 4. 11 minus 8 is 3, and then we've got our decimal, and 4 minus 2 is 2. So this is 2.3 on the left. And then we've got our inequality sign, greater than or equal to. And then here, it's v minus 5.1 plus 5.1, so this is just v. And that's what we wanted. We've solved for v. We've got v alone on this side of the inequality. It's written backwards from the way we normally write it, so I'm going to flip this around by reading it from right to left, and that would make it v is less than or equal to 2.3. If you flip the inequality, you flip the sign as well. All right, let's do one more here. In this one, we've got negative 3.3 is greater than u plus 3.8. So I've got a plus 3.8 hanging out with my u, so I want to get rid of that by doing the opposite of plus. That's minus 3.8. And then, of course, I have to do that to the other side as well, the same thing. So 3.8. All right. Now, on the left-hand side here, we've got a negative 3.3 minus 3.8. Again, if you've got a calculator handy, go ahead and punch it in that way. In my head, I think of this like 3.3 plus 3.8 and then slap a negative sign in the front of it. That's going to be a negative 7.1, pretty sure. And then we have our inequality sign, greater than, and here u plus 3.8 minus 3.8 is just u. Again, we've got this written backwards, so I'll flip this around so u is less than a negative 7.1. So that is a little bit of work using the additive property to solve inequalities with decimals.